Alright, we are starting day 2 at Karlsplatz, and we're going to go see all the main buildings along the Bürgerring and Opfenring. You know, we don't have the time to hit all the museums and everything. It is supposed to hit 90 today or more. Ugh.
Yesterday was 88 and it was too flippin' hot.
So we're starting early. Like I said, we're in a beautiful place. Well, you got the subway behind us, but if I turn around that way, it's a big park, Karls Park and Karlsplatz here. So it's a nice little park. But we're gonna head up this way, past those trams that you can see, and we're gonna just walk the grand tour of all the historical sites. I tell you what, we have heard more sirens. For my friends that like trams, there's a tram for you. And so we want to go across there and then back that way.
Okay.
All right. City and everything. It's just, you're not going to get the artistic pictures you see from the professional photographers who get access to these rooms. But that is the Vienna Opera House right there. So very nice view of it right there. Well, also a tram. There we go. So there's a great view of it. It's the Albertina Museum. The statue of Franz Josef. So we were just here last night. So we're about to begin the official tour. This is still the opera. Great place to start. But we're going to go that way, and then it's just going to be 2 streets, both directions. So, more trams for you tram fans. And there's just no way we're going to film this to capture what it is, but we are at the Burggarten, and that's the Hofburg, one of the royal palaces of the Habsburgs. And a statue of Goethe I find interesting. My man Goethe. No mistaking him. But there's that imperial eagle letting you know, with a crown, letting you know they were emperors. The Hofburg. And just wraps around, wraps around. Now Schönbrunn is the big, prettier one, but this was their main one. This was their in Vienna. Fighting the gnats here. Really bad too. They're big and they're aggressive. You know, all these kings and emperors always built one palace to just show their power and majesty, big, Greco, whatever. And then there are other palaces. I've seen that statue for that fountain in many places. Hercules and the Nemean lion. What's that?
I get to fight the lion.
He gets to fight the lion. It's in the contract. He gets to fight the lion. Francis I. Divi Francisci Romanus Imperium. Was he the last Holy Roman Emperor? Was he the one that broke it up? What?
He broke it up, he shouldn't have a statue.
Well, by breaking up, he then declared the Austrian Empire, and the Hofburgs were glad. They were tired of all the rebelling German states and he decided that it was easier to kind of cut them loose and let them deal with Napoleon on their own. We continue to work our way around the Hofburg. Loved Mozart in his time, but in Vienna he really struggled to gain any acceptance. But because he played here and because he became one of the greatest composers of all time, and in my opinion really one of the most brilliant, now everybody celebrates Mozart. That's a cool picture if you can get the clef sign in with them. Yep, I did. Yay me. Very cool. Got a Kahlo exhibit going on here. But this is no different than Buckingham Palace, but it's much more accessible. Probably because there are no ruling monarchs anymore. Museum Quartier, the museum quarter. And we'll come back to this, but we're gonna head. Let's look at Marie and Treason Square because there's nothing to go inside. The World Museum of Wien. Alright, maybe we don't want to go into the Hofburg. But, oh, this is... you just keep seeing more and more and more. So that is the Nationalhistorisches Museum, the National Historical Museum. And then it's like Gendarmenmarkt on steroids, but instead of churches, it's museums. So this is Maria Theresian. So that is the Great Empress Maria Theresa. Although I think Great Empress is kind of a misnomer. She got kind of suckered in by Frederick the Great. Yeah, I think this would be a great place for a panoramic portrait. We are at Marientheresienplatz in the heart of Vienna. We have the Art Museum, the Royal Art Museum, the old Hofburg Royal Art Museum. Over there we have the Hofburg Palace and the old guard walk for the Hofburg Palace. And then matching across the way from the art is the National History Museum, which is more archaeology and stuff like that. That is Marientheresienplatz in 360. Ooh. Right, so now we're inside the Hofburg. See, like that is the at a military group, because that's an armed guard there. Yeah, I don't know what we're catching, but we're catching something. All right, so we're walking into the inner court of the Hofburg Palace. Fuske Acht. Fernandes Omgerman Gabe. This way. Yeah, I'm digging this. Another little courtyard off that main courtyard. Stiege. All right, unfortunately the Royal Jewel room is closed today, so we'll come back tomorrow to see those, and I'll splice them in. Speaking French, I think. There are times where certain colors and styles are trendy. So this is still the National History Museum. And again, we're only in Vienna for a couple of days, so we're more doing what I sometimes call window shopping. I'm just looking at the outside of buildings. There's only a couple of buildings I really eagerly want to go into, and that's Schönbrunn Palace, which is just outside, and then I want to go into the Hofburg to see the Habsburg family jewels, which we'll do that tomorrow. No, right on the, right here, this building right here, the sandstone one. That down there, for all I know, could be an embassy. Remember, Vienna is an international capital, so it's going to have embassies. Well, if you like bus and trams, this part of the video is going to be cool. Not that I'll ever post this on YouTube or anything. Okay, so hidden behind all these trees is the Justizpalast, the Supreme Court of Austria, and there's associated buildings and plots. And then the three people in the statues there are the founders of the Austrian Republic after the end of World War I. And this is Schmetterlingsplatz, or not Schmetterlingsplatz, back in there as well. And then, if we can get past all the traffic, we have das Parlamenthaus. This is the house of the Austrian Parliament. This is the Austrian government. Oop. So there we have the royal, well, not the royal, the Parliament of Austria, the official parliament building. Dying phone and traffic constantly blocking your view. Here we are at the Parliament, getting a nice view of the statue of Athena. And we'll turn it sideways and just do sort of a panoramic look of it. Very cool. One last look. Let the trucks run in the way again. And down. And Dr. Karl Renner, one of the and that is another of the theaters. Yep. Well, there are two things you can't control when traveling: weather and construction. And unfortunately for this beautiful town hall, we've run into construction. It is completely blocked off. There is no way to get a view of it. Did you come all the way this way? I'm sure there's a sign over there that says keep off the grass. So you can see in the shade it's 28 Celsius, so that's like 78, 79. And this is a big park, it's Rathaus Park. So there's statues to all kinds of famous Austrian politicians and thinkers, social theorists and ethicists. Alright, well, we found a place to get a decent view of. There we go. There we go. That's the best we're gonna do. But we've seen it in the eyes. And the Rathaus. Well, we got around some of the construction enough to at least get to the heart of the building here. It's a very cool Parliament building. I don't know if it's Munich level, but it's still very cool. And then across the street is the Berg Theater. We're just not going to get all of it in. And tram. They really are timed every time I try to film something. There we go. That's the headquarters for one of the main political parties, the SPO, SPU. Café Landmann since 1873. And a continuation of the Justice Palace, the federal courts of Austria. Yeah, you can't really see, but this is the University of Vienna, the main hall. Did you get a nice picture of that statue? Okay. We're heading to Sigmund Freud Park. Construction everywhere, but all these old buildings, these were embassies, old embassies, and some were luxury hotels, apartments for the workers. Right, so that is the Volkskirche, the People's Church. What?